Я не говорю по-английски. Отпусти.
He speaks Russian. What we need is an interpreter. The main principle of intelligence work is intel gathering. But that's a problem if you don't speak the enemy's language. We need a staff member with the interpreter skill to do a simultaneous interpretation.
Эй, смотри.
Дмитрий 6, что случилось? Ответьте, Дмитрий 6. У нас проблема. Тревога по всем постам.
You gotta extract him.
Обыскать все! Двигайтесь! Подожди, не стреляй!
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. He's coming too. Roger that.
КП ЛК-2. Поиски закончены. Противник не обнаружен. Прием. Это КП. Понял. Не расслабляйтесь. Они еще могут быть рядом. Конец связи.
The enemy's given up their search for you. But they're not giving the all-clear just yet. Stay alert. Extract him.
Это Дмитрий 2. Воздушный шар только что унес одного из наших. Скорее всего, на базе лазутчик. Мне заняться его поисками? Прием. Это КП. Понял. Всем боевым группам проверить окрестности. Избавиться от чужака. Конец связи.
Что это? Быстрее!
Looks like the enemy's lost sight of you. They're gonna try to hunt you down.
Соблюдайте осторожность. Прием.
Всем базам, это штаб. Всем базам, здесь безопасно.
material. It could be just what we need to develop new weapons and equipment. Those are raw diamonds. Collecting them as assets will raise our GMP.
You have arrived at your destination.
There, that's the target.
Протез. Я его сделал. Давай! Черт! Это мой шедевр. Обычные протезы — это скучно. Я специалист.
Great. There's nothing in the way overhead. You should be able to pull them.
Можно сказать? Нет. Бионическая рука. Свою жизнь я создал тысячи. И вот благодарность. Сделай гигантские руки для новой боевой платформы, они мне сказали. Бионик. Они...
Please select our support helicopter requested.
Понял. Проверьте, но осторожно.
Поэтому...
Конец связи.
Меня поймали. Теперь, может, меня ждет в лагере. Ты меня спас. И я готов тебе служить. Могу улучшить твою бионическую руку. Просто дай мне продолжить свою работу.
Капета, Зоя-1. Враг ушел. Начинаю поиск. Прием. Это КП, понял. Они не могли уйти далеко. Будьте бдительны. Конец связи. This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Target extraction confirmed. Your objectives complete. Exfiltrate out of the hot zone by chopper or on land.
Buddy, departing area of operation. Exfiltrated.
All right, you're out of the hot zone. No enemy forces in pursuit. Mission complete. Flawless work. You never cease to amaze, boss.
The base. Development project has been added.
Mission complete. Great work. The engineer we rescued has been extremely cooperative. The guys on the R&D team are glad to have him aboard. Thing is, his specialty isn't mechanics, but something called bionics, engineering based on biology. He's already submitted a proposal for modifying your prosthetic arm. If you're interested, go ahead and give the development order. How you feeling, boss? Getting used to being in the field again? Having choppers and horse at your disposal is indispensable for operating in the wilds of Afghanistan. I've gone ahead and arranged for you to be able to develop and customize weaponry for support choppers. And you can also develop new equipment for D-Horse if you like. Use your iDroid to start development as needed.
Side ops list
By
updated.
connecting your iDroid to the onboard computer, you turn the chopper into your own Aerial Command Center, or ACC. Some elements of staff assignment and R&D of weapons and items can only be performed from there. Take as long as you need to consider all your options.
Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Please select a mission. Mission accepted. Deploying.
disable the Soviets' reinforcement system by putting a hole in their base-to-base comms network. Head for the Eastern Communications Post and destroy its comms equipment. First, use the binoculars to locate the communications equipment at the facility. Dog Pop. He's a tough little guy.
Yeah.
Boss, this is no time to be playing with animals. What are you gonna do, boss?
Whoa, whoa!
Проваливай!
He's coming too. Roger that. Roger that. We'll pick him up. There's an English-speaking soldier somewhere in the region. He's a language specialist. His role is to translate information related to the West into Russian. If we can get him to join us, we'll have the upper hand in information warfare. Find this language specialist. binoculars to locate the communications equipment at the facility.
Покажи,
Mission failed.
That radio transmitter is used to relay messages between outposts. Take it out and the mission's complete. You completed your objective. Now get out of the hot zone.
Mission info has been updated.
Это Зоя 2. Был взрыв. Ущерб неизвестен. Прием. Это КП. Понял. Всем подразделениям.
Please send support helicopter requested. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
This is B-Quad.
We can use compounds from plants to make medicine or poison for use in new weapons and equipment. Take a look at the plants list on your iDroid to see which ones we need. Then go find them if you get the chance. It'll keep the staff happy too.
Gaining altitude.
Exfiltrated.
That's it. You've made it out of the hot zone.
Area
No sign of the enemy. Mission complete, boss.
Departing.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Development project has been added.
Mission complete, boss. GamePlay is growing like crazy thanks to you, boss. In fact, it's getting downright crowded around here. To bring a greater number of people on board, we'll need to expand our facilities. To that end, I've created a base development unit. It has two roles, material refinement and platform construction. I'll start with the material refinement part. The base development unit procures material resources on a regular basis according to its level. The materials are stored in containers and placed on the deck of Mother Base. Once they're finished being processed, they can finally be put to use. By using these materials to build new platforms, we'll be able to add a greater number of staff to our ranks. We don't need any specific instructions from you to refine the materials, but I want you to be the one to decide how we construct platforms. Once we have sufficient GMP and the required material resources, you can issue construction orders from your iDroid. Prolonged time in the field is bad for the body and mind. I think it's time you took a break. Do it for me. Come back to Mother Base ASAP.
Didi, come back!
This is the dog you brought back. Bit of a troublemaker. Not sure about the breed, though.
He'll get bigger?
Uh-huh. Like this. You know, I can look after him. He's still a pup, so he doesn't listen. I have a feeling someday he'll be useful. I suspect you discovered a real diamond in the rough. With a little polish, I'd say we got a true diamond dog on our hands.
Didi, right? Hostile at raising hounds. Fine.
Come on, Didi.
Channel request from Langley. We're to find a piece of new American military hardware that's gone missing in the mountains of Afghanistan. It's a difficult mission, but I'd say you're back in top form by now. Check your iDroid for the details.
Boss, thank you for making me a diamond dog. I look forward to serving under you.
Please select a landing zone.
Roger.
This is Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Too cute.
This is Pequod. On station at LZ.
Classified ops list updated. Mission list updated.
You were hospitalized in Dekelia, a British sovereign base area on Cyprus. It's part of British overseas territory that falls outside of Cypriot jurisdiction. You got moved from Cuba's Little America right into Cyprus's Little Britain. Why Dekelia? The UK and the US remain close allies. The last place Cypher would think to look for you is inside their own system. That's what kept you safe in British military hospital for 9 years. The safest place from a whale is inside its own belly. You were a regular Geppetto.
Well, it wasn't Pinocchio who led me out to safety. So who was that guy?
Cypher went so far as to attack British territory, burning their own ally. That's how badly they wanted you dead.
He said I was in a British military hospital. But the doctor had a Greek accent.
They hire locally. Easier to trust them. Dekelia is also home to Greek Cypriots, after all.
What about the Turks? They haven't returned to the south.
Not yet. The Cyprus dispute is still a long way from resolved. The country is just as split as it was in '74. Turkish Cypriots in the north, Greek Cypriots in the south. Between them, the Green Line, the UN established.
And Dekelia sits right on top of it.
It does. Part of the buffer zone between the two groups. Another reason it was the perfect place to hide you. Easy to spot any outsiders snooping around.
So how do things stand?
Now, last year, the Turks declared that the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is an independent state, though it's only Turkey that recognizes it. In the past, the Greeks and Turks lived side by side in the same villages. There are reasons to fight. Those came from the outside. Greece, Turkey, Britain, America, they all had their own stake in pitting the two sides against each other. But once you spark something like this, it's impossible to control. Both sides build up grudges like debt, without the foresight to see that each act of revenge just fans the flames, and then it's too late for other nations to rush in with peace talks. The embers keep on smoldering. Each nation's arrogance only breeds anarchy. The world is paralyzed by this hunger for revenge. Cyprus is no different. You're up.
We're changing ships?
Deploying.
Your target is a Spetsnaz detachment commander. Your orders are to take him out. With skills like his, it'd be a shame to waste him. But I'll leave the method up to you. Boss, make your way to Deshago Calais and eliminate the target.
Sun will set shortly. The map has been updated.
While the Soviets have indicated they are not participating in the Los Angeles Olympics, primarily because the United States has made no attempt to guarantee the safety of the Soviet Union's athletes, The United States is increasingly demonstrating the belief that the issue has nothing to do with its preparations, and in fact this is retaliation for the Western nations' boycott of the previous Moscow Olympics. That concludes today's news.
That's quite some news.
The Soviet Union not attending the LA Olympics? Yeah. Andropov's death has changed some things. They're calling it revenge for the Western boycott of the Moscow Olympics.
Countries boycotted the Moscow Olympics.
Yes. In protest of the Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan. Over 50 countries were absent. It's too bad I didn't get to see Yamashita's judo. When the 40th Army crossed the Amu River 4 years ago, détente went right out the window. The U.S. Congress chose not to ratify SALT II, and Reagan's hardline politics won him the presidency in a landslide. According to him, the Soviet Union's an evil empire.
The Second Cold War.
And there's been no end to regional conflicts and civil wars. Lebanon, the Falklands, Grenada, Iran, Iraq. The story never changes.
Egypt and Israel did sign a peace treaty.
Golden Crescent. It's a type of medicinal plant. We can use that to make tranquilizer rounds more potent.
His actions were a trail of his fellow Arabs. Islamic extremists.
Yes, fundamentalists.
You've arrived at the objective. Your target should be somewhere in that outpost. And don't forget, he has a Spetsnaz recon detail with him. Keep your guard up.
Suicide bombings in Lebanon. Over 300 foreign soldiers stationed there have been killed.
The countries have yet to develop an effective means of dealing with terrorism. Afraid of losing their own men, they've pulled their... Is
that him? Take a good look at their faces so we can ID the targets.
Но помните, мирных жителей трогать нельзя. Если среди них будут жертвы, это только подольет масло в огонь. Если командир... Я убью командира.
That's the sturdiest building in the area. It'd be perfect for the target to hole up in.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Yeah.
Please select a land support helicopter
Roger.
requested. Exfiltrated.
All right, you're out of the hot zone. No enemy forces in pursuit. Mission complete.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
All right, mission complete, boss. Maybe you'll actually break a sweat next time, huh? When you're not on a mission, use that free time wisely. Surveying enemy outposts, for example, or gathering manpower and resources. Of course, even you need some downtime every now and then. Whatever you do, it's all another step on the road to our goal.
Please select a mission. Mission accepted. The map has been updated.
Слышь, о чем говорила женщина рядом электростанции?
Нет, что за женщина?
Не знаем, что с ней. Говорят? Ха!
Каков? Как ты в порядке? Что там?
He's coming too. Roger that.
Guard post captured.
You gotta extract him.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Development project has been added. Please select a landing zone. The support helicopter requested.
Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequod. On station at LZ.
Please select a mission. Mission accepted. Deploying.
Locate and bring back the U.S. military's new weapon codenamed Honeybee. The CIA put it in the hands of the Hamid group of Mujahideen, but the Hamid fighters were wiped out. The Honeybee must still be hidden at their base, the fort at Dasmasi Laman. Unfortunately, the Soviets are looking for the weapon as well. You have to get to it before they do. Bring it back here. There's a photo of the target on your iDroid. One more thing. Apparently, one of the Hamid fighters survived. He's missing, but if you can find him, he might lead us to the target. Good luck, boss.
Miller told me about what happened in the Caribbean 9 years ago. You do remember Miller. You'd formed a private army with him. An army with no allegiance to a nation.
I remember, but
I see. You're not sure what's fact and what's a fantasy caused by the coma. It's still all a mess, huh? All I can do is tell you the facts as they were told to me. I've gone easy on you up until now, but this is where the hard stuff begins. 1974, the year before you entered your coma. You were in Colombia, operating with a small unit of men, basically mercenaries. Miller was among them. Miller was trying to find a way to turn his and your talents into a line of work. He was looking to start a business where you would fight on behalf of others around the world, those who needed military force. The reality was, at that time, you didn't have enough gear to equip your own men. Then Miller came across this client. It was a huge job he was offering, but you had a shot at pulling it off. You accepted it and headed into Costa Rica. The client even threw in an offshore facility in the Caribbean. The mother base, that would be your new base of operations. Miller sure did have a head for business. As your mission went on, your unit grew and grew. More weapons, more money. Before you knew it, you were commanding 300 men. As the organization got bigger, your military powers swelled to match. It got so the international community couldn't afford to ignore you. You were just too damn successful for your own good. You, your men, had worn out your welcome. Everyone was out for you. East, West, First World, Third. It was only a matter of time before someone took you down. And that was XOF. Officially, they're an anti-terror unit under the CIA. In reality, they're Cypher's private strike force. They lured you to Cuba using Chico, the Nicaraguan revolutionary kid, and Paz, a mole who worked for Cypher as bait. While you were gone, XOF, posing as a nuclear inspection team, stormed Mother Base. At the same time, C4 they placed on the strut legs went off. The whole thing went down in minutes. XOF. Kisses and hugs followed by a big FU. All because of Miller's blind spot. A back door into Mother Base no one suspected. You remember a certain scientist?
A Soviet relay base. Think there's something in there that could lead us to the honeybee?
Giving the enemy a perfect opportunity to hit you at home. You were returning from Cuba when it happened. Mother Base came damn close to taking you with it into the Caribbean. Those are your
Is that prisoner the Hamid survivor?
right away.
If he is, he has to know something about the honeybee.
Wreckage in the water they found was Mother Base. But they checked the coordinates again and again, until reality finally settled in. You were supposed to die that day. That was XOF's primary objective. As far as most folks know, you did. The first doctor to see you wasn't even sure what he was looking at. Before they'd even finished operating, your men moved you to that hospital in Cyprus. There was a woman named Eva who arranged that. Rings a bell. Most men in your condition would have been written off right from the start. But you survived. You went straight down to hell, and they pulled you out. Your eye wide open. Full of venom. The days of naked Snake are long gone. Welcome back, Venom Snake. This world still needs you. Here, Snake, try this on. A prosthetic arm. Yeah, Miller was calling it the arm that wasn't there. The physiotherapy's going well. Your arm's bulked up enough for it to fit. There. Perfect. A little time with it, and it'll work better than the real thing. What do you think?
Huh. I can still feel my real arm.
Well, you better get used to this one quick. You have any pain?
Every now and then.
Where?
My fingertips. My left fingertips.
Sounds like phantom pain. Your brain still remembers your old hand.
Yeah.
What about your vision? Can you see okay?
Yeah. At the moment.
The shrapnel in your skull is pressing on your optic nerve. I'm told any hard impact could have an effect on your visual cortex.
Yeah. The doctor mentioned that.
Your brain might process visual information incorrectly. In other words, you could have hallucinations. You might see things that aren't there, or not see things as they really are. You experienced any of that?
I think so.
When?
Right after I wake up. Colors look faded.
Colors, huh? Well, that's not a major concern in and of itself, but it could mean the difference between life and death in the field. You'll need to watch out for that.
I will.
All right. You should continue your physio. We'll be arriving soon. It's the last chance you'll get.
Extract him.
КП, Косое 10. Какого-то бедолагу унесло на воздушном шаре. Возможно, на базе лазутчик. Жду указания. Прием. Это КП, понял. Последующие потери неприемлемы. Держите ухо востро. Конец связи.
Marker placed. Marker removed. Marker placed.
КП, это Дмитрий 6. Посмотрел, ничего не нашел. Прием. Это КП. Понял. Вернитесь на пост. Прием.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Whoa!
Ocelot. I hear they started calling you Shalashaska in Afghanistan. What's that about? You know the term Sharashka? It's slang for a suspicious, hastily thrown together organization. The word became associated with a type of forced labor facility in the Soviet Gulag system.
OKB scientists and engineers who'd been convicted of crimes were sent to a Sharashka for forced R&D. The Sharashkas were supervised by Lavrenti Beria of the NKVD, the secret police, under the official name 4th Special Department.
Forced research? That's not very different from what we do here.
Diamond Dogs is different. Everyone here believes in you. Regardless of where they came from or why they're here, they revere you. And they're fighting because it was their choice.
And if it wasn't, they'd leave?
Who knows? That's our reality here, whether it's real or not. If there's another truth, I don't want to know it. All that matters is that's the concept that's taken shape in their heads. The traces of a group ideology, our superstructure, to put it in Marxist terms.
All right. Go on.
Right. So anyway, at some point the enemy started calling me Sharashka. This was after the war in Afghanistan broke out. While I was keeping an eye on you in that hospital, I was also heading up interrogations here. The men I broke gave up their comrades and families, everything I liked the most. No real cause for it. I just let myself get caught up in the old Russian pride. And suddenly I received the honor of becoming Special Interrogation Advisor to the forced labor camps. But the more men I interrogated, the more people saw me as just that, the interrogator. It helped cover my real objective of keeping you safe.
You went that far for me?
Far enough to keep you alive. I ended up being pretty well known among the Afghan guerrillas. Some of them would have seen me on the battlefield, and that's how I got the second half of the name. Shashka. It's a sword, a type of saber from the Caucasus. Russian dragoons and Cossacks carried them into battle. Now, the Russian Empire had a general by the name of Fyodor Arturovich Keller. His bravery earned him the nickname Russia's Greatest Shashka. Someone must have known about that, because somewhere along the line, Shashka got stuck on the end of Sharashka. The guerrillas were using the name amongst themselves, and by the time I got to hearing about it, pronunciation had wound up as Shalashashka.
So, half gulag, half hero sword. Is a perfect fit.
But you see how rumors and ideas about people can get out of hand fast. Once you create a character and put it out there in public mind, it warps and twists with every baseless rumor. And before you know it, all people see are phantoms. In my case, it works out just fine. I'm plenty used to working under aliases. That's an enemy gunship. A single burst from its machine gun could cut a man in half. Tread carefully, boss. Sandstorms come in. Sandstorms effectively make you blind and deaf. But that goes for the enemy too. Use the situation to your advantage.
Momentarily.
It's Marseille Fort. This is Marseille Le Mans. Now to find the honeybee.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
last prisoner you extracted was the main survivor. The guy's a mute, but he pointed out the whereabouts of the honeybee on a map. It's on your iDroid. Head on over there and retrieve it.
Marker placed.
Where are your friends?
Извини, я не знаю английского.
He speaks Russian. What we need is an interpreter. The main principle of intelligence work is intel gathering. But that's a problem if you don't speak the enemy's language. We need a staff member with the interpreter skill to do a simultaneous interpretation.
have arrived at your destination. Marker removed.
Who would have thought they'd hide it there? You secured the target.
Mission
Now you just need to bring it back. Call the chopper from your iDroid. You are not to use the honeybee. The order was to recover it with its ammunition.
Хотим уходить с фланга. Конец связи.
Please select a landing zone. Support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
Понял. Всем подразделениям. Быть начеку. Конец связи. 101, это КП. Доложите ситуацию. Прием. Вы меня слышите? Прием. Всем боевым группам, это КП. У нас проблема. Тревога по всем постам. 101, это КП.
You look well rested, big boss. My, how you've changed. You became a demon for such little weapons as that? Well, I'm sure you'll see the bigger picture eventually. If you get out of here alive. Rest in peace this time. I'll see you in hell, boss.
happening to that soldier? Damn it, they're everywhere. Those are too fast. If you had a homing weapon. Ross, maybe it's time to see what the honeybee can do. Boss, that's a serious injury. It won't heal on its own. You'll need to treat it with first aid. Cleared. And it looks like they're gone.
Support
And bring the target back.
requested.
Whoa! Whoa! Yeah.
Arriving shortly at LZ. This is P-Quad. On station at LZ. Cover fire. In hot. All right, get in. Time to go.
Support helicopter has arrived. Exfiltrated hot zone.
Gaining altitude.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Mission complete. I guess it all worked out in the end. So this unit in the mist, their speed, the way they jump, it's not human. And those deformities.
They attacked the Soviets, too.
And that Grim Reaper look-alike in charge of them. That giant thing that carried him off. What the hell are they?
Cypher.
Well, what do they want? What's their objective? Why Afghanistan? There's one more thing troubling me.
What happened to the Hamid?
Exactly. Whole squads of hardened Mujahideen killed without a fight, and no trace of BC weaponry. What does it all mean?
That's what we're here to find out.
Yeah, right. If we really need to know, the truth will reveal itself. Even if it's ugly. Boss, I'm creating a new intel team to support you in our areas of operation. Members of this team will head out into the field and conduct reconnaissance. Knowing the strength of an enemy force beforehand will help you carry out missions more smoothly. We may also learn something about the skull-faced man. So boss, that brings me to assigning staff to the intel team. There might be guys already assigned to other teams who are more suited to the intel team. Go ahead and reassign them as you see fit. The dog you brought back. There'll come a day when he'll be ready to join you on missions. But you know, he gets lonely easily. You should come visit him every once in a while. Get back to Mother Base.
See that? Now that's discipline. Following orders like a real diamond dog. Soon he'll be... Hey, no! Stay! Stay! Didi! Go!
No, maybe not yet.
But soon.
Soon.
Boss, we've had some new job offers come in. I've selected the ones I'd like you to handle and added them to the list. Take a look on your iDroid. The more missions you complete, the more we can expand Mother Base.
Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Please select landing zone confirmed.
Roger.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Welcome home, boss.
This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Mission list.
Members of the intel team are on the ground. Their reports will be reflected as predicted enemy fields of movement on your iDroid's map. The higher the team's level, the more accurate and frequent their reports will become. Be sure to take advantage of them.